Now I'm going to zoom in to where I know my base map is located, and that is of course in central Pennsylvania in State College. Zooming there now with the OpenStreetMap base on, I'm zooming right to my study area. So if you did not know where your study area is exactly, you'd have to do a little bit of research here to find out. I know where it is as I've done that research, and so now what I can do is I can sort of scooch this window so that I can see, as you can see, in one of the tools inside the georeferencing toolbar is getting this dual view. And because you can't see both of my screens, I'm just going to kind of show you how these look on my end of things. I've got the base map on the left side and I've got my image on the right side. So now I'm going to be ready to add my control points, which is the thing that I want to do next. We're going to add these control points. These control points basically are like little digital push pins that tie certain unknown locations to known locations. So if I add control points, I'm going to obviously, in this case, look for street intersections. Those are my landmarks. Now, if you've got a satellite image and you've got a piece of terrain out in the rural area, you're going to have a bit of a challenge, but it's going to be able to do the same kind of thing where you're pointing at river intersections or prominent mountain peaks or something, or trails or something like that that you can see in both your maybe historical aerial photo and your current satellite image. In this case, it's streets, and as you can see, as I add these control points, note that my image has already rotated so that north is now at the top, and so it rotated my Sanborn historical map basically by about 45 degrees. And as I add more control points, the better my image matching is going to be in terms of georegistration or georeferencing, referencing my historical map to my OpenStreetMap base. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding those control points. The more control points that you add, as long as they're good and accurate, you're going to get a higher order transformation, as you can see here in the georeferencing help. You can read more about that in ArcGIS help. You can also view the link summary table. You can delete points that are not adding to the spatial accuracy. Recognize that I'm skipping over that, but you can definitely do that. Take a look now at the image. We're going to use the transparency to kind of get an idea of how well we're doing here in terms of seeing the historical map on top of the OpenStreetMap as I adjust the transparency there. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Yep, I'm liking what I'm seeing. How about you? You see how easy that is? Georeferencing toolbar inside ArcMap. Set it back to opaque. We're going to rectify, which there's two choices. You can update georeferencing or you can rectify. Rectify makes a new file. So I'm going to make a new file here and put it in my working folder. I've added a satellite image now, so we can take a look at a couple of things here. I'm also going to look at the image analysis window. You can see that I can now slide the opaqueness, the opacity of the image. I can also do this swiping, where it's giving me a good idea of before and after. And here's really where I can see the expansion of Penn State. Notice how small those buildings were back in 1922 and how much they've expanded and also become surrounded by larger buildings on campus. No surprise there. Same scene replicated in numerous college campuses and also hospitals and other institutions around the country and around the world. I'm going to go ahead and save my working ArcGIS map document. It's looking quite good at this point. I'm very happy with it. I've got a couple of base maps in there. So that's all there is to it. Adding control points, managing error, looking carefully at your image at each step of the way, making sure the projection is correct, and you're done. That is how to register or georeference an image that was previously in unprojected coordinates. You're referencing it to real-world coordinates. Thanks.